The Snow Fox by Enchanted Tales Hub. There was a time, not too long ago, when the world outside my window was nothing but white. White fields, white sky, and a white silence that could press on your shoulders like a wool blanket left out in snow. I was 12 then, and we lived in a wooden house on the edge of the taiga. My father was the caretaker of the forest reserve. He rose before dawn and returned with frost clinging to his beard and the smell of pine in his coat. My mother kept the house warm, tending to thick stews and quiet worries, and sometimes I'd find her standing at the window, listening to wind instead of radio. The days were short. The kind of short where the sun hesitates to rise and, once it does, casts a pale light that makes shadows long and blue. Most of my time was spent indoors reading old adventure books by the fire, drawing creatures I'd never seen, or pressing my ear to the frost-laced glass, trying to hear the stillness outside. One such morning, just after a gentle snow had fallen and the birches stood like sleepwalkers in white robes, I saw something stir at the edge of the trees. It was small, pale, limping, a fox white as snow, save for a streak of red on her flank and the black tips of her ears. She moved hesitantly, dragging one hind leg behind her. Then she stopped, looked around, looked at me, or so I thought, and disappeared behind a snowdrift. I told no one. The next day, I left a crust of bread and a strip of dried fish near the forest edge. By dusk, they were gone. The day after, I left more. This time, I waited longer, sitting on the back step, the cold climbing up through the soles of my boots. I didn't see her, but I felt watched quietly from somewhere behind the trees. By the third day, she appeared again, moving slowly but with more purpose. I named her Snezhka, like the snow soft and quiet, but capable of covering the world. Each day became a quiet ritual. I'd leave offerings, bread crusts, boiled potatoes, sometimes meat stolen from dinner plates when no one was looking, and wait. Not with impatience, but with the kind of still hope that comes from long winters and childhood solitude. And she came. Sometimes just a flash of her tail through the birch trees. Sometimes the glint of amber eyes at dusk. Once, just once, she sat in the clearing and looked at me fully, our breath rising in slow, matching puffs, and I did not move. She turned away first. One evening, snow fell heavily. My father said it might snow for days, and the drifts would pile up over the path. He wasn't wrong. The next morning, I trudged out knee-deep to leave food, then sat in the snow with my notebook, sketching what I remembered of Snezhka's face. Not perfect, but it captured something in the eyes. She didn't come that day, or the day after. By the third day, my hands felt empty. Then, in the deep dusk, I heard it, the soft crunch of paws on fresh snow. She emerged not from the woods, but from behind the woodpile, closer than ever before. She was no longer limping, just cautious, quiet, and regal in her winter coat. I stayed still, barely breathing. She sniffed the food, but didn't eat. Instead, she turned her gaze toward me. We stayed like that for what felt like a long time, Two creatures, each warmed by the other's presence, but bound to their own world. Then she was gone, slipping into the dusk without sound. After that, she did not return, not even for the food. A week passed. Then two. My father said the snow foxes move on when the wind shifts. My mother said foxes are like ghosts. They come when needed and disappear when not. But I missed her. I kept her sketch in my notebook and sometimes added small details: a leaf in the snow, the curve of her ear, the scar on her leg. My drawings became less of what I saw and more of what I remembered. Years passed, as years do. The taiga remained, though the forest paths grew narrower in my memory. I left for the city, grew older, learned to move quickly, speak fast, and rarely look out of windows just to listen. But once, when I was nearly grown, I returned in late winter to visit my parents. The air was clean again, the snow silent. I stood outside at dusk, near the edge of the forest, and thought I saw something move, a flicker of white, a soft step in the distance. Was it her? I didn't call out. I only watched. She disappeared behind the birches, perhaps a ghost, perhaps a memory, or perhaps the child in me remembering what it felt like to be still enough to be trusted. Some friendships are brief. Some never need words. Some are written in snow and remembered long after they melt.